then Nipsey gets killed. And when I tell you everything.
BigU just spilled the hottest tea about Nipsey's murder. And what he's revealing about the murder case could flip everything we thought we knew. Previously, he swore he didn't know anything. But now, he's naming names and revealing information that could put some of the faves in jail for life. Well, we have all the tea. Let's break it all down together. The wild allegations hitting the streets. The hip-hop world has been buzzing like crazy over these mad allegations about who is really behind Nipsey Hussle's tragic passing. The streets are talking, and they are pointing fingers at Eugene BigU Henley, Nipsey's former manager and OG mentor, who some folks claim orchestrated the whole thing from the shadows. These accusations got mad traction since BigU caught them federal charges recently, putting his name back in everyone's mouth and reigniting all that conspiracy talk about Nip's death. Now, check it. While the system officially pinned everything on Eric Holder Jr., who got hit with that 60-year bid back in 2023 for murking Nipsey, there's still mad people out BigU and Nipsey there, especially former rapper SKG and that wild boy Charleston White who swear there's more to the story than what the cops in court saying. To really get what's popping with all this drama, we got to first understand the complicated relationship between BigU and neighborhood Nip. Eugene BigU Henley was major in launching Nipsey's career. Word is BigU peeped Nipsey's potential when Shorty was only like 18, 19, recognizing his unique swag and hustle that would later have him shouting out BigU on his projects. But their relationship wasn't all good all the time. According to hot new hip-hop Nipsey Hussle, involved in shootout with former manager and LAPD, they had a major fallout back in 2011 that popped off at Crenshaw and Slauson in South Central. The word on the street is BigU put hands on Nipsey, his brother, and Pops. The situation got so heated that Nipsey's brother, Black Sam, had to let off a warning shot in the air just to stop BigU from putting more damage on his family. When 5-0 rolled up, one officer busted back at Sam, but missed. They detained everybody, including Nip and BigU, but nobody caught charges. The whole beef supposedly started over some studio equipment. One source says BigU moved some equipment Nipsey was using, and that's what lit the fuse. This incident was a major red flag in their relationship, even though they seemed to patch things up on the surface later on. Fast forward to now, and BigU facing some serious heat. In March 2025, the feds hit him with a 43-count indictment. We talking racketeering, conspiracy, murder, specifically bodying aspiring BigU indicted rapper Rayshawn Williams in 2021, extortion, human trafficking, fraud, and stealing money from charity programs. The Department of Justice ain't playing, saying BigU've been running a straight-up criminal organization connected to the Rolling 60s. With BigU catching these charges, former death row rapper SKG, a.k.a.
Weeks have passed, Nipsey started calling me. So this is where I got mad at Nipsey because I'm like, did you set me up? So remember, I didn't see him no more after this meeting. Nipsey started calling me.
And this is probably what year?
2009.
Okay, so like 10 years before he passed. Still super early in Nipsey's career.
Right. So I didn't see him anymore. So then a few weeks later, Nipsey's calling. He's like, sis, I need my posters. Because remember, I was doing Nipsey's campaign for him and I had all his posters. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come through. So I go to Nipsey's shop. I walk in his shop. Him and Fats, they're out at the counter. I walk up, I'm talking to him and I just hear the click, click. And it was like I knew. That was that. I just knew. It's like it's a setup.
Oh, wow. Click, click, like somebody had a gun drawn on you?
No, click, click. They closed the door. Click,
they
click.
Locked it. Okay.
So they closed it, and then it was a thing where you can lock it, and I just heard the click, click.
Okay.
Once the door closed, you just know.
And so how's this play out from there?
Nipsey and Fat dropped their heads. And so...
And at this point, because obviously people know that Nipsey and BigU ended up having this fallout that was mostly behind the scenes, did come out on records and stuff, but at this point, Nipsey's still all in with BigU. They're like super tapped in still. Okay.
Right. And so Nipsey and Fats, they dropped their head, and then BigU just jumped on me. And Bear Claw is with him. So the guy that's on his case with him, that's a part of development options, it was him and Bear Claw.
SKG said the beating was straight unprovoked, and just because she wouldn't let BigU boss her.
And so he just started beating on me. He's like, you disrespected me in the meeting, you did this. I never stole nothing from this man. I never did anything that warrant for him to put his hands on me. He jumped on me because I stood up to him and would not let him dictate, extort, or control me. And because my bosses and colleagues rode with me. This is why I got jumped on.
Damn. And that's a big dude to be beating up on a much smaller woman.
Mind you, I was pregnant.
But SKG ain't the only one throwing shade. Charleston White, another controversial figure who stayed running his mouth, also claimed BigU orchestrated Nipsey's murder. According to Worldstar Hip Hop, Charleston White claims BigU is behind Nipsey Hussle's murder. White been saying BigU put the hit on Hussle, and another video shows him exposing BigU and the Rolling 60s for allegedly greenlighting Hussle after he stopped paying protection money. These videos doing crazy numbers, with one pulling over 54K.
Homie, they killed Nip too. Let's not forget, homie. They killed Nipsey Hussle. Eric Holder was not a lone actor in that. If you go back and follow the details, Nip and BigU got into it. BigU hit Nip daddy across the head with a bat. His brother had to come out and shoot the gun. His brother you don't pull no gun out on no every street. No, I don't give a damn where you shot that gun at. You pulled it out on me.
White straight suggested that Nipsey had outgrown BigU's control and that
say, Nip, come on, we finna come beat you because I don't want to pay that $20,000. You say it's over this equipment, but the white folks is pulling me away from the set. I met a Jewish white boy on the front row at the Los Angeles Lakers ball game. Me and this white boy getting drunk, we started talking business idea. This white boy see I'm a sharp. This white boy pulled me into business ventures, the vector sector, right? So now I'm being expanded, but now they pulling me away from the set. The set have made it known nobody's bigger than the set. Nobody's bigger than the program. Nip had gotten bigger than the program.
Charleston White even claimed Nipsey was being extorted.
Yeah, Nip was being extorted too. He had to pay for protection. That's why they got that video of him that Wack 100 say they got of him. Why would they let Wack even make that statement? So peep game. So you think them ain't saying, man, that woo woo woo, and his brother go shoot at us, and his brother pull a gun out on BigU.
Another source on YouTube gives more details on how Nipsey and BigU's relationship supposedly went south after Nipsey.
Everything in their power to sabotage Nipsey Hussle's career. First, by going to the studio and ripping out all the equipment.
Right. Then when I decided when my son come home from college, he want to do music. He had my equipment, and I wanted to use my equipment. He got mad because I got my equipment back.
The source even claims there was an attempt to greenlight Nipsey.
First in Compton, and during the shoot, Nipsey got a call. The back door was ordered on Nipsey Hussle by BigU, but instead of filling the order, Nipsey had so much love, they gave him the heads up.
And then continued.
Nipsey's team didn't arrive yet. Called the team, tell them to turn around, head to the Marathon store. Then YG called, where you at? We gotta finish the shoot. This song's a hit, guaranteed. That's when Nipsey told him, you know what? Come down to the hood. Let's shoot it down here instead. They can't backdoor me down here, and YG went on his way.
These allegations paint a straight disturbing picture about what might have gone down behind the scenes. But we got to remember, while these accusations are definitely wild, they go against the official story that has Eric Holder Jr. as the lone shooter who caught feelings over being called a snitch. While all these wild allegations from folks like SKG and Charleston White got the internet on fire, they straight up contradict the official story about what went down with Nipsey Hussle. According to the courts and police reports, Eric R. Holder Jr. was the one and only person responsible for taking out Nipsey Hussle on March 31st, 2019 outside his Marathon clothing store in the Crenshaw district. The way the system tells it, Nipsey was posted up outside his shop when Eric Holder came through. They had a quick convo, then Holder bounced, but Holder came back a minute later strapped with 2 heaters and let off, hitting Nipsey at least 10 times. 2 other dudes caught strays too, but survived their wounds. After the police did their thing, Eric Holder Jr. got found guilty on July 6, 2022 of first-degree murder plus 2 counts of attempted voluntary manslaughter for the other victims. Then on February 22, 2023, the judge hit him with that 60-year bid, breaking it down as 25 years to life for the murder, another 25 for the gun enhancement, and 10 years for the assault charges on the other victims. The DA's case was stacked with evidence, eyewitnesses, and security camera footage showing Holder pulling up, the shooting.
Growing up, we all know, we learn at an early age in kindergarten and through our parents not to be a tattletale. Nobody likes a tattletale. In the adult world, we have people who are tattletales or people who we call brown noses or kiss.
This defense was trying to knock the charge down from first-degree murder to voluntary manslaughter by claiming Holder was caught up in his feelings.
He did not have time to cool off. The evidence will show that it was very soon after this accusation was made publicly against him that he was so enraged and triggered by this emotional response that he acted without premeditating. That's what the evidence will show.
But the jury wasn't buying it. After about 6 hours of deliberation, they hit him with that first-degree murder conviction. The medical examiner, Lawrence Nguyen from LA County, confirmed Nipsey got hit multiple times in his head and body with more than 1 liter of blood pooled in his chest. They pronounced him dead at 3:55 p.m. that day, about 37 minutes after he got shot around 3:18 p.m. To understand the beef between Holder and Nipsey, it's important to know they were both rolling 60s Crips and had history. But while Nipsey blew up and became a major success, Holder's rap career never really took off. The prosecutor suggested this might have had Holder low-key jealous. Holder also had documented mental health issues, diagnosed with auditory schizophrenia at 19, which his defense team tried to use to minimize his culpability. But the jury wasn't having it. It's also mad important to note that throughout the entire investigation and trial, nobody from law enforcement ever connected BigU to Nipsey's murder. The whole case was built around Holder acting alone, motivated by a personal beef over being called a snitch. But despite what the courts say, conspiracy theories about BigU being involved keep circulating, often pointing to that 2011 altercation between him and Nipsey as proof of bad blood. As we covered in part 1, they allegedly had a serious physical confrontation that involved Nipsey's family and even gunfire. Through all this drama, BigU has repeatedly denied having anything to do with Nipsey's death. In a 2021 interview on Drink Champs, BigU straight up said, "We ain't got no beef, period," and claimed they stayed in contact right up until Nipsey signed with Atlantic Records. According to Hot New Hip Hop, BigU denied the rumor that he was involved in Nipsey Hussle's murder. BigU said he was heavily involved in Nipsey's success, flying to New York for his record deal and even appearing in the music video for Rap __, the second single from Nipsey's album Victory Lap. BigU has been vocal about his frustration with the conspiracy theory, saying, "So where are these rumors coming from? It's just guys using his name and his death to make some money, and then the rest of the ignorant people falling off of that." According to BigU Speaks on Rumor, he denied beefing with Nipsey Hussle before his death. The conspiracy talk got louder in March 2025 when BigU got booked on those RICO charges we mentioned earlier. According to Arc Republic, BigU is facing charges for a whole bunch of serious crimes, including the 2021 murder of aspiring rapper Rayon Williams, human trafficking, fraud, and running a mafia-like criminal organization. The specific charges against BigU are wild. According to the Los Angeles Times, in BigU's arrest report, he allegedly kidnapped and shot 21-year-old rapper Ray Williams in Las Vegas. Williams had signed to BigU's unique music label and supposedly recorded a diss track about him. Some people see parallels between this allegation and what might have happened with Nipsey, suggesting BigU has a pattern of violent reactions against artists who cross him, adding more fuel to the fire. There are wiretapped calls from January 2023 where BigU allegedly said, "I'ma kill him. Period. I am going to murder him if anyone beefed."
When Nipsey died, right? When Nipsey got killed, we probably had about 375, 400 kids that was in our program. And I had the travel basketball team. We had a contract with Adidas that was worth about $3 million that Kanye West gave us.
Wow.
And then I had like a bunch of other different contracts. and for a nonprofit. We were really thriving. Then Nipsey gets killed.
He continued by saying,
well, after Nipsey get killed, then the rumor goes out, BigU had some woo-woo. We lost everything.
You lost all those?
When I tell you everything.
Wow.
Kanye stopped answering the phone. Adidas stopped answering
What?
the phone. And I ended up almost going dead broke because we already committed to these teams.
While these statements make BigU sound like he got done dirty by false rumors, critics point out that his recent arrest and the serious charges against him make his entire story suspect. If BigU really did murk Rayshawn Williams over a diss track as the feds claim, then it's not a huge leap to think he might have been involved in other violent situations, possibly including what went down with Nipsey.S, but we got to keep it 100. As of May 5th, 2025, there are no official charges or solid evidence connecting BigU to Nipsey Hussle's murder. The Fed's extensive investigation into BigU's alleged criminal enterprise, which included wiretaps and mad search warrants, hasn't turned up anything linking him to Hussle's death, at least not publicly. Now that we've peeked at both sides of this crazy story, let's break down the actual receipts in this case, what all this drama really means, and how it affects Nipsey Hussle's legacy in the game and in the streets. First off, let's keep it 100 about the evidence. The system built their whole case against Eric Holder Jr. based on solid proof, security footage showing his movements, multiple witnesses who saw the whole thing go down, and forensic analysis that connected him to the crime. They recovered the burner and Holder's...
I am very mindful of what was presented as to Mr. Holder's mental health history. I'm also mindful of devastation caused to the victims and their families. So I think this sentence balances both. In addition, there will be the 12022.53D allegation, which is consecutive. There will be an additional 25 years to life. So for count one alone, it would be 50 years to life.
The judge handed down a heavy sentence that reflected the severity of the crime. Interview. On the flip side, all these wild allegations against BigU are mostly circumstantial and speculative, coming from people who might have their own beef with him. SKG, for instance, clearly has mad history with BigU, claiming he beat her while she was pregnant. That kind of bad blood could definitely color her accusations about his involvement in Nipsey's murder. Same goes for Charleston White. Dude is known for running his mouth with controversial statements that get views and attention. His claims about BigU lack hard evidence that would normally back up such serious accusations. It's also mad important to note that BigU's recent RICO indictment, while serious AF, doesn't mention Nipsey Hussle's murder at all. The federal investigation, which involved extensive surveillance and evidence gathering, would probably have connected the dots to Hussle's murder if there was solid proof. According to Los Angeles Times' BigU arrest, the charges focus on other alleged crimes, primarily the 2021 murder of Rayshawn Williams and various racketeering activities. This doesn't mean we should completely dismiss what people are saying, though. The documented beef between BigU and Nipsey, especially that 2011 incident where things allegedly got physical with police involved, suggests their relationship was more complicated than either the purely positive...
Eugene, BigU's Henley co-defendants in this federal RICO case want to push back their trial, scheduled to start later this month. Their attempt to do that has brought something startling to the light: the sheer volume of evidence in the case. In a new court filing, the government reveals that it has a mountain of material against the former Nipsey Hussle manager and 6 co-defendants. Included in that pile are, prosecutors say, 20,000 intercepted audio calls, as well as numerous surreptitious audio and video recordings.
This mountain of evidence, while not directly connected to Nipsey Hussle's murder, shows the Fed's been watching BigU heavy. If there was something solid linking him to Hussle's murder in all that surveillance, it seems likely they would have included it in the charges. But they didn't. We also got to consider the timing of Nipsey Hussle's murder in relation to his community work and activism. When he got taken out, Nipsey was deep in community development projects in Crenshaw. including plans for affordable housing and economic development.
Nip that Monday had a meeting with the LA County, with the LA Police Department on gang intervention program before he come up dead. So now Nip and BigU done fell out over $20,000 worth of equipment, so they say. But it's really over $20,000 extortion fee to pay for protection. Yeah, Nip was being extorted too.
This narrative suggests that Nipsey's growing influence and leadership in the community might have threatened established power structures, potentially giving certain individuals a motive to want him gone. But again, this remains speculative without hard evidence to back it up. As BigU's case moves through the system, with his trial initially scheduled for May 20th, 2025, though likely to be pushed back. More info might come out that could either strengthen or weaken the conspiracy theories around Nipsey Hussle's death. For now, it's important to approach these allegations with a critical eye, separating verified facts from speculation. The allegations against BigU, while definitely disturbing, haven't been substantiated to the same degree. However, the recent RICO charges against BigU do raise legitimate questions about his character and activities. If he is indeed guilty of the crimes he's charged with, including murder, extortion, and fraud, it suggests a pattern of behavior that might lend some credibility to the allegations regarding his relationship with Nipsey Hussle. One particularly troubling aspect of the current charges against BigU is the alleged murder of Ryan Williams, which has some similarities to conspiracy theories about Nipsey Hussle's death. According to Los Angeles Times, BigU arrest, Williams was an aspiring rapper signed to BigU's label who allegedly recorded a diss track about him before being killed. This allegation, if proven, would establish a precedent of violent retaliation against artists who crossed BigU, potentially lending credence to theories about similar motives. In Nipsey Hussle's case, the question of BigU's relationship with law enforcement adds another layer to this whole mess. As a former gang member who switched up to community activism, BigU is in a unique position where he could move between the streets and official institutions. Some conspiracy theories suggest this position allowed him to move differently and manipulate situations to his advantage. But his recent arrest on federal charges shows that whatever relationship he might have had with law enforcement didn't keep him from getting